GM.
Hello everyone, and yeah, welcome to a morning stream. The sun is already blazing through the window, so it could be a hot one today. I was actually meeting some friends for lunch later on, but oh god, it's so hot. I mean, me and Martin in the chat, Merry Hatman, were both ginger complexion, and gingers just melt in the sun. As soon as the sun comes out, it's like, it's just not good. I tried to do a bit of work yesterday, but I just can't work when it's so hot. It's like, God blimey. So we're having a fun challenge match now, and wow, the ginger gem has really short arms. And it's against Maaike, sorry, and let's get to Maaike on the stream now. I'm just going to actually put my headphones in so I can hear what's going on. So I'll just put my headphones in.
Hi Simon.
Hey, how you doing? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hang on, let me try this. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Sorry, yes.
Good. How are you doing, right?
Great, yeah. I
Good.
rarely play chess this early in the morning. I probably goes the same for you, so I wonder how it will go.
I know. I mean, I've played a lot of chess tournaments where sometimes you have to start at this time, but it's not pleasant, is it? Really? Normally.
No, you're always dreading those rounds.
Dreading the famous morning rounds, yeah. So, but thank you for playing in the morning, and
I'm excited.
yeah, it should be fun. It should be fun. So we've got a fair few people watching actually. So you have to go a little bit easy on me. No, don't try to obviously
Well,
try
I
to
was
crush me.
very slow. When yesterday I was streaming myself and then talking, and you want to explain all the moves well. But then I keep thinking and using up so much time would get flagged all the time. So at least I won't get flagged as easily now, I think. Good news for me, but not for you.
You can properly concentrate, right? Is that the
Yeah.
idea? Yeah. So I guess we get started soon. But do you want to just tell everyone who you are? You know, how to pronounce your name properly as well? Just
Yeah, that's always a good starting point. So
Yeah.
it's actually Micah, but no one can pronounce that. So whatever you like. And yeah, I work for Chessable. I'm a vice president of content there. And this week I've been playing some matches. I was gonna play on the board tournament, but due to a COVID case at my house, I had to self-isolate. So now I'm playing online chess, which is just as fun.
Good. And you've been playing some you've been playing some legends, Micah. So
Yeah.
you played Sarawan yesterday. Wow.
Yes, I did. I
Cool.
can't believe he had the time, but yeah, it was amazing. I learned a lot, and I
Good.
didn't lose 2-0. So
That's great though. But you got you know, you got a draw with him, and he's a legend at chess, and
yeah,
really good. And you played Chess Explained the day before, was
that
that
was
right?
fun too. Yeah,
Yeah.
we played 1-1, and then we played Blitz, and then he absolutely crushed me. But still was fun.
Good stuff. And obviously, so we're going to play 2 games of Rapid. We're playing, just so everyone knows, we're playing 20 minutes plus 10 seconds to move. When we start playing, we will mute Micah's basically,
Yeah, you
what's
won't
it
hear
called?
me.
Yeah,
Don't
you
worry.
Won't be
You
able
just
to
listen to Simon.
hear. And Micah won't be able to hear me as well. She doesn't want to. She doesn't get suggestions from my bad moves. So that won't help her. And Micah, how strong are you? I mean, we played one Blitz game before online where you crushed me. In
Oh, you
some-
remember that one? I wasn't gonna bring that up, but now that you did.
I was remember, but I mean, you played. I also remember you played in Hastings.
That's true. Yeah, we sat next to each other in some rounds. Yeah.
You did, and I remember
I,
you crushed Grandmaster Danny Gormali, and I thought, bloody hell, that was a strong game, didn't you? So you beat Grandmaster Danny Gormali there. So you're a very dangerous player, right?
Yeah, but I can also play very badly. Just some days are good, some days are bad. So we'll have to find out what kind of day it is today.
What day it is today, and what's your current ratings? Obviously, we haven't played over the board for
Oh,
ages.
I think it's about 2200. So you do outrank me by a lot. So you should be the favorite, Simon. But no pressure.
Look at that! You're already getting into my mind. So trying to psych me out, and but you are only 2200. But look, you're young. You're working in chess. You're up and coming. You haven't had a chance to play, so your real strength is probably
I
a
hope
lot
it's
higher.
better. I hope
Yes.
it's not worse, at least.
I'm sure it's not worse. If you can draw with Chess Explained and draw with Saruman in a game, then you've got me a little bit scared here. But it will be good. So yeah. So and someone's asking, are you an IM?
No, no. Well, that would be a bad IM if I had 2200 and was international master. No, I'm a WFM, but soon WIM. I hope I have one norm left to go.
Easily, as soon as you can play another tournament, I'm sure. But you
I
are,
hope so.
yeah, you're much higher rated than your rating. So I'm getting all the excuses out if I lose to you now. So
Yeah, you can blame it on Wi-Fi connection, on the streaming. There's plenty of options.
I've got many excuses ready. So
The morning. It's earlier for you than for me. That's also a good excuse.
yeah, I have to say I don't mind the mornings actually so much anymore. I normally get out really early, but it's all good. And yeah, cool. So and I also say Micah does such a fantastic job for Chessable and has helped me so much. Anyone who's brought any of my courses on Chessable, Micah has really helped me get those courses ready and the advice. So there's a big team behind those ones. We have someone saying Pap Ganaf saying a big fan of your Jabbar London course. Well, there you go. That's one where Micah really helped me, and Micah's also got a really good course on the Nimzo Indian. You should check it out as well. So, but I guess what we'll do, Micah, we're having 2 games, and should we just mute? We'll play those 2 games, and we'll have a chat afterwards, or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'm excited, and wish you best of luck, and hope for fun games. I prepared yesterday. I played H4, I played H5. I'm all in the right mood. So.
Have you actually done any preparation? That scares
no.
me a little bit. No, okay.
Not at all.
No. Good.
I'll be honest.
Good. And we're both logged into Lee Chess. Now I don't actually know how to. Do you know how to challenge someone on Lee Chess? I'm not.
Yeah, I think I do. You're probably
okay.
Ginger GM, right?
I am Ginger GM.
I will
so
challenge you. That should work.
So we will see.
So do you want to play with or without rating?
I don't mind. We can play with rating if you want to. It's totally up to you. You choose. You choose.
Okay. Well, it's classical rating, so you probably never played it anyway.
I might not play too many.
I think I challenged you, and it should be random color, so you'll be white, you'll be black. We don't know yet.
Brilliant. So everyone watching, we're going to play 2 games, and I will go over my thought process with all the viewers. So I'll try to tell you exactly what I'm thinking, so you'll get into my mind, which is a bit scary, but you'll be able to think like a grandmaster and hopefully see how we think. I might need to quicken up at some point when Micah puts me under pressure, but we will see. And actually, also people are asking, do you have a Twitch channel, Micah, or are you going to have any plans to do any Twitching?
Yeah, I should start one, I think. I do have a Twitch account. It's just my full name, which is hard to spell, but I think it's on the screen, so you should be able to find it. But yeah, I should start a channel soon. People have been asking me, so why not?
Brilliant.
I just need to learn how to do all the tech. I'm not so good at tech, but
brilliant. We'll look out for that one. Okay, well, good luck. We'll do a bit of muting now, shall we? And we'll play a game. And yeah, good luck, but not too much luck. So okay.
Exactly. Have fun.
All right, have fun. Enjoy. Okay, cheers. I'll mute and I'll set the challenge now. Okay. Okay. Right. So we have the white pieces in the first game, which should be a bit of an advantage. Now, what are we going to play? I'm going to start with the English. I'm feeling it's a bit early. We're going to do a bit more positional stuff as it's the morning. And I know Micah is quite famous for playing the Nimzo Indian because she did a brilliant course on the Nimzo Indian. So I quite like the variation where if Micah plays knight f6, we play what's called the Mykonos attack with e4, and this is what we've got into. Now d4 would go into a Nimzo Indian, but I've always played the move e4 here, and obviously Micah is moving very quickly, so I'm sure she's prepared, but this is a line I've played for most of my life, and I do have a bit of age over Micah. She's probably sharper in tactics, but I do have a bit of age. And I got my first international master Norm by beating Grandmaster James Howe, who doesn't play anymore, with this variation in Swansea in 1995, I believe. Showing my age there, and I doubt even Michael was born at that age. And so I played this against James Howe, and I managed to get, and I won that game, and I managed to get an international master Norm. Now, this is actually, it's a little bit annoying for Nimzo Indian players, because if they don't know what they're doing, they don't get their normal setup, because I did have a threat of going e5. So Micah has played the main line, and the main line now goes e5, d4, and we have many captures here where I get a bit of a center, but Micah is generally quite solid. So we're going to play the main line. We're following my Chessable course, which is my Chessable course is the Iron English, which I did with Richard Patterson. This is still in the theory books, and here we want to take this knight off now. And hallelujah cat, hello to you, hello everyone else in the chat as well. By the way, Micah is Dutch, if you're wondering where the name is, Dutch. Okay, now again we're following theory, and the main theoretical move now is to take here, and queen takes f6 is best because black doesn't want to destroy the king side by taking here. So this is still, and now we go d4, and we try to gain the center. This is where we're trying to get a very small advantage, and we're trying to follow this up with knight f3, bishop g5, bishop d3, slightly harassing that queen, gaining tempo on the way. So that's our general idea of development. We just go here. Sometimes, I mean, the main move here, there's two main moves, c5 or e5, and again, I have to be honest now, my memory with theory, if I don't check it before playing, it's not as good as it used to be. I used to have a very good photographic memory, remembering many lines, but I sort of have, I know what white should be doing here, and that's when you don't always need to go on complete memory. And what I want to be doing is like I said, I just want to get my pieces out. It's a little bit easier this position for white to play. So if Micah has some, is Micah's memory is not completely, if she doesn't know the theory completely well, she can get in a little bit of trouble in these lines. So she's got to, that's why she's spending a little bit of time thinking about the right way to develop. Now I think the best line is e5, knight f3, knight c6, as far as I'm aware. So she has played e5, and working for Chessable, you've got to imagine that Micah's opening theory is going to be pretty damn good with all those courses that she's working on. I'll probably find out afterwards that she worked on this course and she worked on this particular variation. I'm like, oh no, but hang on a minute, it is my course, so I should know it just as well. So this is one of the main lines, and this is actually following my game from the British Chess Championships in Swansea from 1995 against Grandmaster James Howe, where I played knight to f3, and we're going to play knight to f3 here, and this can lead to a bit of a tactical exchange. Now I think the modern variation is this knight to c6, and this is one line where I can't remember what the modern approach I gave in the Iron English is. I need to jet up on that. One of the lines I do know quite well, because it's how James Howe played, is pawn takes here, bishop g5, and she's played the modern line. There you go, she knows her theory. So the modern line is being played, and this is where I've got to try to recall that Chessable analysis now, which I've more coffee please, more coffee. I mean, how about okay, so now d5 is a move you can play, but the point is you lose a lot of flexibility in your pawn structure, and she can get a very nice grip on c5. So d5, the knight moves back, and later on the knight comes in there, and you kind of lose all these options to take in here. So you don't really want to play d5 unless there's a very defined reason for doing so. So bishop g5 is the natural move, and then something like queen here. Then can I play bishop d3? I remember there's some long lines here, but trying to work it over the board is bloody tough. Bishop here, queen here, bishop d3, e4. Castle's a move. Don't want to be losing a piece without any, don't know. I want to kind of play a safe option here. It's a bit early to get involved in any tactical mayhem. Bishop d3 captures here. Trying to work. This is definitely one line which I should know. Check. Looks a little bit annoying. Bishop g5. Bishop g5 looks so natural, doesn't it? I might play it. It's got to be a good move. I'm going to calculate after this move. Make sure I'm not blundering. Nope. So I'm going to calculate after this move because this is such a natural move. The position can get extremely complex very quickly here. And rather than wasting time of trying to work it out now, let's just see where Micah puts the queen. I think queen g6 is the theoretical move. And then I need to work out if I'm going to go h4, which I expect she fully expects. If I'm going to go bishop d3 and try to get some kind of quick attack on the e file. So queen here, bishop d3, e4. I was thinking castles, pawn takes d3, rook e1 check. And what I'm doing here, this is another very useful tool. I'm using Micah's time to calculate in, so I save my own time. That's why I played this move, because this time's going to go very quickly. Even though it's rapid, it's going to go down very quick. So queen here, can I even take on e5? That's must be a variation, but I know it's not the recommended one. She has played it. So here she can't go knight takes because queen d8 is checkmate, but it looks a bit ugly. So so d5 now does keep a little bit of the initiative going. h4, I think Grischuk once played h4 in this position, and h4 is at least guarding my bishop. So she moves the pawn, my knight can move, my bishop is guarded, and I can try to hassle the queen with h5. So h4 is certainly a possibility. Now bishop d3, e4, I'm trying to see if I can make this work, but I don't know, queen e2. Queen e2. This seems like it's going to get very tactical, and you know, which is fine. But do I really want to go into extremely tactical line if I'm not 100% sure about the theory of it? So I'm just thinking a bit of common sense here. So I'm going back. I'm going to just look at moves one at a time. I'll probably spend a lot of time on this position because this is just a very important junction in the game. Once I make a decision here, the game's going to go off for another 5-10 moves in a certain direction. So I'm kind of in control of where to take the game here. So this is why I'm going to spend my time wisely. And you get this often in games. You've got to, you get critical moments where you can play other moves very quickly. When you get a critical moment, you should use your time. So pawn takes e5. Let's just see if we can calculate through this. I don't really like this move because my pawns, even if Micah just plays bishop e7, it looks like my pawns are a bit funny. But okay, knight takes doesn't work because of checkmate. So pawn takes here. I mean, bishop g4 in the position could be a good move, right? Pawn takes bishop g4, and you can see the body language. Micah looking quite confident there. She knows her theory. She's memorizing stuff better. Pawn takes bishop g4. Yeah, well, I'm popping into Guildford later, Blair. And hello Blair in the chat, and I must also say, Blair, I haven't heard from Ken the taxi. Would you like to be my taxi driver today? I'll pay you, Blair. I'll contact you after this little match we're having. So right, I'm getting distracted here. I need to focus. Okay, so takes bishop g4. I just don't like taking here. It might be a decent move, but I've got to go with my instinct, and taking here. I think she's got very easy development. So next move, bishop d3 is kind of the move I wanna play, but I'm only, I would imagine, worried about e4 there. And if I take, queen takes, king d2, I'm looking at some nonsense shit now, of course. King d2, trying to go rook e1. The queen comes back, rook e1. Knight e6, I don't believe that. Bishop d3 here, queen e2, pinning the pawn. So bishop d3, e4, queen e2 looks much more to the point. Has she got bishop g4? No, I take there. Bishop d3 here, queen e2, f5. And if I drop my bishop back, she can block. If I move my knight, she wins that piece. So it's a strange position. d5. Positionally, I don't want to play this move either because it looks funny to me. But I might just play it because it looks like a simple solution. Keep some pressure up. Now I imagine the knight goes back here, trying to reroute. So here, then bishop d3 because I've forced one more piece back here. Queen e2. Okay, I'm going to go for d5. It is a rapid play game after all. Do I like d5? I'm going to have to look this up. I'm going to have to look this up on my Chessable course afterwards because I've completely forgotten. Now h4 I do know Grishchuk has played, so I'm kind of now just, I'm thinking like, do I play d5 and try to get a quick initiative, or do we play this h4 as well? H4 of course also looks kind of like very playable. h4 takes, bishop d3, check. So the only move I'm a little bit worried about is pawn takes pawn after h4. But that looks risky for both players. Maybe I can even go knight takes. Okay, actually h4 now. I mean, I'm known for my h4. I'm not really looking at the chat until I play the move because otherwise it's a bit unforced. So I'm thinking h4 or d5 here. I don't know which one. d5, positionally I don't like. Now h4 does have the benefit that I can threaten d5 and knight takes here. I think I'm going to go h4 because a lot of my problems are with this bishop, and I don't think that this is certainly not the move suggested in my Chessable course. I wish my memory was better, but you can see even top players, unless you're Magnus Carlsen, they forget things, and I'm going to have to look this line up. Maybe pawn takes pawn is the move, but I'm not going to go into some complex variation without knowing it. So actually I'm just going to play h4. So we'll play this move, and look, you can see Micah obviously must have expected me to push Harry the h-pawn there, and I do. So it's funny how the mind works. So I can't remember the line I gave in the Chessable course, but I do recall, I don't know why I've got my headphones in, I do recall that I think, well, I'm pretty sure, and you can look this up yourself, that Grishchuk played this move, I think against MVL, or maybe someone like Ding Liren. You can look that up. You can look it up on G-Chess. I better not do that now because it'd be cheating. The quickest way to look this up would be you put this position onto G-Chess. Why don't you guys try that out now? Try this out now. So while you're playing along with this, if you want to get some inside information on the position, which I can't access because it'd be cheating, if you go to gchess.com, if you're subbed, even better, but if you play the moves out on the chessboard, you can find out who's played this online, offline. You can find out what it says in my, if you're actually subscribed to G-Chess, you'll be able to find out what the Iron English course says I should play, which I wish I wish I had that available now, but we're not cheating. So, but it looks like a perfectly decent playable move, right? And by the way, thank you for subscribing, Hey Gu Kim, if that's how you pronounce the name. So what am I trying to do now? Well, now that my bishop is guarded, it gives me some more options. I think my main threat is d5, and if the knight moves away, then I can go knight takes e5, which I couldn't do before because a queen takes bishop. So this pawn, the main idea is to defend the bishop, And the reason I did this is, I know it's not the main line, but Micah was moving very confidently, and I'm trying to get Micah a little bit more out of her, maybe what she's used to, her theory. So okay, so let's just think what I'm worried about. Well, h6, f6 clearly are probably just decent moves, but what if she does something with her pawn first of all? Well, if she goes pawn on to e4, I think I'm quite happy there. I have one very aggressive option, knight e5, knight takes, pawn takes, threatening checkmate on d8. But I have to make sure that that works tactically, because if I ever move this pawn over here, you can see I split my pawns up and I make them very weak. So I have to do that. Is G-chess yours? Well, I run G-chess with a couple other people, yes. You should just go if you go to G-chess and go to the main board, you can put the position on the board, and when you're watching streams you can play along on the board. So I think it's a very, very useful tool, which is cool. So, and I'm glad Blair's going to give me a lift to the pub afterwards. That's very kind of you, Blair. If Ken doesn't get back to me, I guess, because which should be great. Actually, I need to charge my phone. I'm just going to do that now. Hang on a minute. Sorry about that. Just remembered I needed to charge my phone. Okay, so another very standard and decent move here. Micah develops the bishop, but this may... I'm not so worried about this one, because now certainly d5 is I don't think I'm going to think of anything else. Why d5? Because I've always got this idea when this knight moves, they're coming in with a check. And the idea of going d5, knight somewhere, check, looks very attractive to me now, because maybe Micah's wasted a move. Let's remember, Micah's king is a little bit uncomfortable and she hasn't done anything to stop my bishop. So I'm trying to take advantage. If Micah can get a couple of moves in, like castle, then Micah's going to be doing very well. But in this position, d5 is definitely my first fault. The knight moves, queen check. If the knight blocks, then I might have knight takes d5, but maybe I don't, because of queen d4. Okay, so hang on a minute. So this queen e4 is a very clever idea. So here, the knight comes back. Check, knight d7. And the point being, knight takes here, queen e4, check. Aha, clever. So d5, the knight comes back. Knight takes here, queen e4, check. This queen e4 is really annoying, because this kind of stuff, bishop takes here, knight takes there, is fine. So here, back, knight takes here, check. There's no tactic with bishop e2, queen takes d5. No, I don't see it there. So here, what do I play then? So this check is somehow very annoying. So here, bishop d3, here, castles. Can I play some crazy shit like that? It's getting a bit early for this. Takes. No, she has to take the bishop. Okay, I think I can do this. So here, knight here, and the reason I want to go d5, I want to push this knight to a passive square. I think b8's right because it's on the right route. If I go bishop here, and then castles there, she has more control over a potential check on the e-file. So one of my ideas is basically to allow her to fork me. If she takes one of my pieces, then I'm gonna get a rook to e1, and it feels like this knight will be very nice on c6. So I want to at least try to use a bit of initiative. So I'm thinking pawn here. Now if she checks on this square straight away, bishop e2 I think is fine, takes, pawn takes. So here, bishop d3, and I think she'll have to go e4. Then I just castle, and I threaten bishop takes, queen takes, rook e1. She can't take the knight because I take the queen. If she takes my bishop, I go rook e1 check. If she goes king here, I have knight e5 check, and that will win. No, that will win everything. So I like this. So I'm going to go here in this position, and I'm going to try to keep a bit of initiative going. So in the position. Now the clock time is 20 minutes plus 10 seconds a move, so yeah, there's a bit of time. And 9 bishop e2 in my course. Okay, Nimzo Blitz telling me not bishop g5. Aha. So if we go back in this position, bishop e2 is the main suggestion. That makes a lot of sense. Did you get that on G-Chess? Did you find that on G-Chess? Because on G-Chess, if you literally follow, maybe it'd be very interesting to know if there's being Grandmaster games played in this position. Maybe if you go to G-Chess, someone can go there who's a subscriber can find it. I have the Chessable. Okay. Well, I'll show you maybe if we get time on G-Chess how this could work. Okay, so let's have a look. She's got now Micah's got to think what to do with the knight. I mean, maybe Micah can counter-attack here with some move. This check here, bishop e2, I don't think I'm worried. Because bishop takes, pawn takes, I'm attacking the queen, and I'm attacking the knight, so I win a piece. So if she doesn't move the knight, well, this pawn is going to get extremely dangerous, just chopping. So let's say she goes h6 or f6. I take here, she takes here, I take there, and that looks really risky. Not just because my pawn is very dangerous, but because again I have this queen check and maybe come in here, rook b8, and I come and take on a7. So I think Micah's got to move the knight. Now she can't go here because this check will win a piece. Knight e7 looks funny to me because the knight is getting in the way of the bishop, and where is that knight going? Whenever you move the knights, you want to give them good routes. So knight e7, maybe just even bishop e2. Let's remember, I don't have to do anything clever. I can play bishop e2, and this is my backup move with what I think is the most critical line, which is knight to b8, bishop e2. I can just play bishop e2. I threaten to take on e5. I get the bishop pair, and this might be a very simple way of doing it. So knight b8. I want to play after this one. Bishop d3. Bishop d3 is the most aggressive move, and I think you should always try to play the most testing move. But if bishop d3 doesn't work, then I can go back to breaking the pin and playing bishop e2, which threatens to take on e5. And if my opponent captures on f3, I take with a bishop, and I think this would be a very good position because I have even ideas of bishop h5, and I can just simply castle. And if I get a rook to the e-file, this is actually looking quite good for white. Maybe bishop g4 is a little bit optimistic. It did feel a bit incorrect, this move. So Micah has fought fire with fire and come straight forwards, which is very understandable. And that was the next move I was getting to. Now, of course, I can take here, and Micah is just about stopping this checkmate and this checkmate, and she's got this queen e6. So the critical line, I'm getting a bit short time, takes here. I'm not sure I like this. This check here, I've got to move my bishop back. Might still be all right. She takes on g2. Wow, what a position. She has to go rook b8 at some point. And this check, like I mentioned, is very key. This might just be winning. So I should probably double check this. Takes here, takes. Any other better moves there? Can't see them. Take on b7. What can she play? What can she play there? She takes here, I take the rook, I queen and its mate. So takes. Is she she has this check here. That's a much better check. Keep forgetting about this check. Takes, check, bishop e3, threatening that one. Takes on g2, getting bloody complicated. If she takes on b7, she takes on b7, it looks okay. Now it's even like, so takes, I need to find a good move there. End of position. Like bishop d3 doesn't help, she takes here. Takes. Is there not something really good there for me? It's like some queen d5 move is interesting. Takes on g2, I just take back. Takes, queen d5. And if pawn takes here, queen e5 check, queen here, she's fine. So takes is the only way I can play. Check here. Have to play bishop e3. And then she goes queen takes b7. Queen takes b7. And then after queen takes b7, I need a very good move. And I can't see one there. This check can easily be met by bishop here. So, time to rethink. And what else can I play here? So we can think about playing bishop d3 here, like an absolute loon. Pawn takes knight, castles. No, pawn takes knight, pawn takes queen. I mean, pawn takes bishop, castles would be the way I want to play it. Wow. Could that ever work? Bishop d3 looks completely ridiculous. I mean, you have to be mad to play a move like that. Bishop e2 takes is a backup. Bishop d7, and I don't really like that one. So we need to play aggressively here, this is for sure. What about something like queen d2 here? Pawn takes here, bishop d3. Pawn takes g2. Very complicated. I didn't want something so complicated this time in the morning, right? Oh God, making me calculate like this. I'm an old man. Rook g1, bishop f5. I'm not sure I like that. So I'm thinking bishop d3, but this is just like a bit insane. And then if takes, I want a castle. Like an absolute Looney Tune. I don't know, that can't be right though. Can't be right. I can't be right. Okay, so this is like really quite a critical position. You know, so much for a positional game. Yeah, bloody hell. You're right there. This is anything but positional. This is there probably is something really strong. This is where I'd love to have more time, obviously, but that's not the case. I'm even thinking of now queen sack, but this has got to just be shit. Takes there. No, that's got to be crap. Has it? God, so many ideas here. Even queen e2 is not ridiculous, right? I don't think. Okay, so here takes. I need to find something soon, obviously. In the position. Takes. So nothing there. Maybe I can just take. Maybe I just have to take on f3. This might be the best one. Queen takes here. Captures here. Captures here. And then there should be something there. Following the instinct. Like queen d4 or something. Looks very interesting. So many interesting lines here. I'm getting carried away. I don't trust bishop d3. Bishop d3 takes castles. Just don't trust it. She's got an extra piece, so she can play something like f6 and just doesn't really work. So I think I'm going to have to take on c6. And after this one, back up here. And if she does take, I can always play bishop e2. So I can rethink that position. So I'm getting a little short time. So I'm going to have to take here, I think. And try to work this one out. So this looks like the most critical. I'm going with my instinct. The other options didn't look very good. So I don't think I've done anything wrong. So you have to think logically. If you don't think you've done any really bad moves, you shouldn't be in a lot of trouble. And I don't think I've played anything that bad here. So bishop d3 was far too risky. That's the kind of move. That's the kind of move that I would play if I was in a proper tournament and I had hours to think of it. I'd have to go through it a lot. But it looked really suspicious, that move. This one after takes, I can't just go pawn takes when the critical line, if she moves the bishop, I'm laughing. If she goes check, I can always go bishop e3. I don't think that helps. Maybe then she takes here. So maybe takes. Okay. So I do have other options. Let's just have a think. I'm going to have to maybe. Okay, here, check, no good. Taking here. Bloody horrible pawn structure, right? Bishop d3, check. Just thinking of simple moves why I shouldn't be playing. Taking here, queen e4, bishop e3, takes. Nothing there, is there? I think I have to take on f3 here. Everything else seems bad. And this one, my pawn structure is horrible, but I'm hoping I'm going to have a safer king. Here, takes here. So I have to play this. I've got no choice. We have to do this one. Now she's got the option of playing a check here or taking here, I think, are the critical moves. Now this check, bishop here, bishop takes here, is trying to get the queens off. But I've got queen d7 winning. So check, bishop here, bishop takes f3, queen d7, queen takes, pawn takes, king takes, bishop takes f3, piece up. So check, bishop e2 just helps me. So the critical line which I was trying to analyze earlier is queen takes c6. And after queen takes c6, I'd love to sack my rook, pawn takes here, and takes here, because whose king is going to be in more trouble there? I'm hoping Micah's, but I need a good move there. And what about just queen e2 check? King here, rook, castles or something like that. That looks really dangerous. Castles check, bishop d6, queen e7. I love it. This is the way to go. So I think this. So the two moves that I was a little bit concerned about, queen here and queen here, I'm not concerned about. Queen takes pawn, I take the bishop. Queen takes here, forcing. Queen e2 check. King comes here. Castle's queenside, check to the king. If she goes king to c6, well, I'll worry about that when that happens. I might have c5 with queen to b5 ideas. With the king on c6, she's going to get absolutely destroyed. So she will have to go bishop d6 in that position. And then I'd love to get this check in, but she's got queen takes h3. So queen here check. And then again, king to this square. I mean, she might just about be defending, but it looks incredibly scary. And I just feel you've got to go with your instinct sometimes. You've got to go with your instinct sometimes, and instinct says that if she goes queen takes c6, I will have a tremendous initiative. So I'm thinking she'll have to move the bishop, and that is a very important loss of tempo. But if she moves the bishop, then I can take on b7. So I'm not entirely sure what Micah is going to play in this position. Yeah, it's a really messed up pawn structure here, right? I mean, look at these. Okay, so she's gone here. Now I think bishop e2 is just good. Ah, she wants to go queen takes c6 then. Okay, very clever. Because then if I take, she takes here. Ah, I was getting quite optimistic there. So here takes here. Very nice plan. But I can go something like queen d4. And she has to lose tempo, moving the bishop. And then I can get a rook to d1. But she's got bishop d6 and I can take here. Totally messy. Bishop e3 I don't like. So we have to go here. We have to go here. Now bishop takes f3 loses to queen d7, as we worked out. I've got to move a little bit quicker. I hope we're getting 10 seconds of move. Are we getting 10 seconds of move? I hope so. Queen takes here. Okay, so I think I'm just going to have to play queen to this square. And if she takes queen e5, it's going to be good. So queen takes c6, bishop here, and she's got to lose the tempo moving the bishop. Probably bishop here, rook d1, bishop d6, queen takes g7, and we just got to play. And then we'll think again. Then we'll think again. Yeah, I was thinking if we're not getting increment here, this could be getting really bad. It's pretty bad, my time handling, but it was such an interesting position that I think I had to. Now there is an option. I can go queen d5, and we can swap queens. And with my time situation, that would be the sensible move to play. So, but it's very important to work out that queen d7 is a winning move here if she takes on f3. So this is like the backup plan. We go here. Now let's just check that bishop takes f3 doesn't work. I was assuming it wasn't because of check. King here. Queen f5 check is one simple solution. Simple solution. So no. So here I can go for a queen exchange, which after queen takes, pawn takes is okay. So, but I think queen d4 is much more interesting, and I think we should play the most dynamic move in the position. So I'm not going to think too much. I'm going to go here straight away, threatening the bishop. And the point is, she takes. I've got check, king here, check, and I pick up the bishop. And I'm trying to get a rook to d1 to threaten queen d8, checkmate. I'm not worried about my pawn structure, but of course queen d5 is the safer option and probably wiser. Probably wiser. Now the way she's done this quite cleverly, because remember I wanted to play pawn takes g4, but then she was capturing here with check. Could I still play that? I doubt it. I doubt it. And now I'm hoping, because I'm attacking the bishop, she has to lose a bit of time. Not worried about pawn structure anymore. We're just worried about getting some kind of initiative. But she might even better play f6 and block everything, which is a little bit worrying. So let's say bishop e6 looks like the best move. She's played it. Now rook d1 is better than castling. And then can she play f6? Well, potentially. So I'm hoping I have initiative here because my pawn structure is appalling. No, I'm going to take there if she does that, aren't I? Okay, I haven't got time to think. We've got to go rook d1. Really, I'm going to have to use my time a little bit better in the next game. Here takes. I just have to play that. Takes rook here. And is that just absolute drosh? Might be. Maybe I just can't play that. So she's played it straight away. So takes, queen takes, rook here. Do I have a good move there? Maybe I don't. I don't think I do. So I have to retreat my bishop, and then things are starting to go a little bit wrong. Now I'm thinking I should have swapped queens. So okay, and my time situation is pretty poor because, I mean, maybe this is still even. I can go queen e4 and we can try to swap queens like this. But I was really hoping that move worked. But I think after I come here, just rook g8 was strong. And after rook g8, I don't have any pieces attacking. So this is it feels to me like it's backfired a little bit. And Micah has defended incredibly well here. But we're still equal in material. I just have some disgusting pawns. You're not going to get a worse pawn structure than this. But a little bit of activity still. My king's a little bit safer, so it's not the end of the world. And I can go queen e4, and I can swap queens like this if I need to try and thing. And the good thing about having crappy pawns when you got rooks is that crappy pawns means you have more files for your rooks. So it's not the end of the world. Now I think Micah would love to castle queenside. The problem is Micah's king is still a little bit more dodgy than mine. I've got useful moves. I can put this one here. Maybe I'm playing c5. What other moves am I playing? Am I going to try to push the h pawn? Don't know if that achieves a great deal. It'd be very interesting to see what the computer says about this. Queen e4, if I get really short of time, is my bailout. Hoping to get some kind of ending where these pawns are a little bit grim on the king side, but I do have, it's not a terrible position. Not a terrible position. So Blair's saying in this position I could go king d2. Yeah, that's a move I really should have thought of, actually. It's quite an obvious move. I say it's obvious, it makes a lot of sense. So a bit annoying I didn't see that one. Okay, anyway. Always nice to point out winning moves, especially when you're still playing. I shouldn't look at the chat. But yeah, it's actually a move like that. It just makes so much sense because you want to get something to the e file, and you know, just play very normal kind of ideas. So yeah, that would have made king d2. Of course, one of those moves which hopefully after another cup of coffee I'd spot. So I don't know. I mean, this position. What is this position like? Anyway, we'll try to forget about that one. I guess just bishop e7 is what black will play, and that has a couple of ideas. Rook here, and I'd prefer to be black then. I'd prefer to be black. I would prefer to be black after bishop e2 because my bishop e7 because my pawn structure is really pretty appalling. So bishop e7, rook here, rook d8. I mean, queen e4 I think I'm going to have to play, but maybe therefore I should be playing queen e4 straight away, but because I don't know if this rook g1 does a lot. You know, bishop here, rook g1, Micah can just castle. I'm not doing anything over there. So I think I'm relying on some ending where I think I'm going to be slightly worse, but maybe not terribly, because of my pawns over here. And this is one of the problems of this variation. So I'm thinking like here, and I'm hoping then black has to exchange queens. So at least I get rid of one set of pawns then. So I'm not sure why bishop here has not been played so quickly. I think I'm going to bang out queen e4 against most things. It seems like the safest thing to do. I think in hindsight, okay, so bishop d6, it's the same thing. I got queen here. Does it help to flick in a rook g1? Maybe this is where I can flick in a rook g1. I've got to move quickly because there's no. Oh, because maybe I want Micah's king over here. I'm not entirely sure. And strange position. Maybe I shouldn't. This is very risky because I'm thinking now even castles. Is this pawn really that relevant? I should have got the queens off there. This is what happens when you get short time. Well, I do. You start playing quite inaccurate moves. I should be getting the queens off here, I think, because my king is actually in a lot of trouble in a lot of positions after black castle. I should have just stuck with getting the queens off. Queen e4. Queen e4 would have been the way to play. So why didn't I play that? I should have kept it simple, just queen e4. Regretting this one. I'm actually quite scared about castles. Queen e4, and I'm just thinking if there's any way she can keep the queens on, like queen d7. I'm hoping I have c5. Okay, so she's come this way. I think because of the time situation, we'll play this quickly. Just maybe getting out of the way in some things. Because of the time, I'm just going to see what, you know, we've got to play a little bit, not the perfect ideas now, but we've got to play a bit practically as well. Remember, there is another game after this one, so the endings I think are okay actually, because I do have a better center. I mean, I'd probably rather be black, but with my center looks quite nice, and I got a little bit of pressure on the G file. So I think if queen takes queen, I'm generally reasonably happy. That's about. But okay, so something like queen a4 is much more scary, but then c5. The kind of thing I'm worried about is. No, okay, so c5 is the main move. Bishop here. The queen. So she can't go there because of the queen. Queen anywhere else? Over here, c5. Queen d7, c5. So I'm either going to be able to... Okay, so here... Now exchange might be okay. Bishop d4. Bishop takes. Queen takes. Bishop d4 looks best to me. Got to play it quickly. And wow, Micah is shorter in time than me. This is it's quite surprising. And I'm trying to sort out my pawn structure here. And now I think we will get the queens off. And now taking here, we're both going to have some quite dubious pawns. I love it if she could take there. Can I force that? No, we can't take too long. Look at it's pre-moving. And now, what is this ending like? Does this help me? Still a little bit difficult for me, I think. Because the rook coming to the b file, which I'm really worried about all of a sudden. Do we play? I haven't got any time. Okay. So I'm worried. I was worried about a rook coming to the b file. So I'm going to go here and try to centralize my king. So my rooks are connected. I want to get my king here and play like this. So let's go for it. Again, there's not much time, so I'm going to get my king to e3. It is an ending. My king can be very useful, and also that at least connects my rooks. So now she's going for a good plan here, and my pawns are looking quite weak. So we've got to go king e3 and bishop e2. Everything comes off. She wins that pawn. Here. And just again finding very tricky moves for me to deal with. She can't take there because that is check, fortunately. If she goes here, I've got bishop e2, and I might have to lose a pawn in the ending with bishop e2. Everything comes off and play against these double pawns and try to hold. So now she is threatening this one. So I've got myself in this stupid pin, actually. So we're going to have to play this one, I think. Because otherwise... Now, do I keep the rooks on? So there's some... Or do I get the rooks off? Now, I'd love to keep some chances in the position, but I don't think I think we have to try and defend this ending. So, very nice play. And now let's try and get rid of at least one set of double pawns here. So I'm trying to draw this now. There's no doubt about it. This is my only hope to try and draw this position, because I'm a pawn down. Her extra pawn is not great, but I might be able to... I don't know, it still looks a little bit tricky to draw this to me, because there's plans the king coming around like over here. So I'm not convinced how easy this is. Now, I think my best policy, she's going to try and do this, I'd imagine. How is these king and pawn endings? Is that crazy to do that? I think she can come this way then, so we just got to wait. There's not much else we can do except for sit and wait, which I hate doing. So this is, yeah, it's a little bit tough. A little bit tough. We might need to try and come back in the second game here. Because the black king, if it ever gets into my position, I'm losing. So I don't have any pawns I can attack in this position. And with the increment, there's always time for fine. So black can try to play some idea with this, some idea with this, and I've just got to sit and wait. And I've got to try to cover all the ways in for Micah with my bishop. So I've got to keep my bishop defending all these, basically these key entrance points. If a king can't get across these entrance points, then that's good. So we just got to sit and wait. That's what I'm thinking. Now this one, I'm just going to go here. I've got to defend these entrance points, right? This is what I'm doing. So got to make sure that I stop the king with my bishop at every turning point. And I'm not sure how she's going to win if we do that. Now bishop e4 is actually quite interesting, but I expect, I mean, it gives me some winning chances, yeah. Always the eternal optimist. Do we go bishop e4 or do we just go here? But then the king comes here. I'm going to try this one. Now, actually I really don't like this because she's got bloody g6. Oof. I got very concerned about a g6 move there at some point. Okay, so my bishop is doing all this work. Maybe I should have come here before. This would have been a lot safer. Just come so you can check behind if she comes in. So this one, and now if she's going to try and come this way. Okay, we've got to keep her out. Oh, what happened there? Zen mode. I don't want Zen mode. Don't do that to me now. We've got to try to keep that king out. Now I could I have taken the opportunity to come in there? That would have been much better. Obviously, if I get a chance to try and win, the problem with these positions, if black pushes too much, you can still lose these positions. Don't get me wrong. You can still lose these positions, and I should have taken the opportunity, and I'm going to take it now. Why the hell not? Why the hell can't I come forwards now? There's no point going passive defense, and I'm going to try and play against these pawns. And she's had to stop that one. Okay. Now the king is, well, the king comes, it comes here, so I've got to keep my bishop. As long as I keep my bishop on this diagonal, she's got to go bishop here to try and win, right? My king seems to have improved, so I still don't see how Micah is going to win this one at the moment. It's going to be very, very hard as long as I don't blunder. Now this one I can take here and go here, king here. It's a little bit risky. Do I need to play such a move? I think we're just going to keep it. Okay, is that right? Because it's c4. Am I worried about c4? Bishop comes over here. I don't know about this king and pawn ending. Don't know. Let's go here. Again, I'm not sure where the right square for my bishop is. King and pawn ending. It might have been okay. I could have taken and gone f5 check. Maybe I should have gone for that. But I don't think we should. I think she should have taken that first time. Okay, so she put a pawn on a light square. And my strategy is pretty much the same. Just stop that king coming in. If she moves the king, my king comes forwards. And now if my bishop comes in, she can check me away. Okay. So not a bad idea there. Not a bad idea. We just have to... She can check my king away now. But if she ever tries to come in, I've got to make sure she can't get into these squares. This is the way to try and hold this. Bishop e6 again though, and then king here. Does that help? I can move my bishop around here. Has she made a little bit of progress? Possibly made a little bit of progress. Now again, this king and pawn ending I just don't know about. It's one of those ones where I love more time, but I don't think I should be going in for the king and pawn ending. We're gonna go here. Now if king here, I might go king d. Oh no, then bishop check. So this one, I've got to stop that king coming in. So what I'm thinking is we always cover the king's entrance points with the bishop, and we leave it to Micah. We leave it to Micah to see how to win. Now I don't want to play c4 and put a pawn on the same colour square as the bishop. That'd be crazy. So we just wait now. I think we just wait. Putting a pawn in the same colour square as your opponent's bishop is very risky. At the moment, she can't attack any of my pawns because they're all on these colour squares. So now again, I'm always going to look for opportunities to try and win. I'm thinking I don't see how she's going to win though, as long as I keep those squares covered. The other idea is she might have to play c4 and try to get the king to this square. And we're just going to keep to the strategy. So this might be the right way to play, and I've got to meet that one. c4 is very interesting. She's played it the only way to try and win. She found it immediately. So I want to get bishop to the right diagonal. Or is she, yeah, this is okay. So she can't. She's gonna have to come this way now. So do we go here? And again, we keep that diagonal covered. We keep her king from coming out with a bishop. So I've got to go bishop here now. Now she can exchange bishop, she's winning. But I do now have ideas to play actively with my king. So she's got to be a little bit careful the way she's playing it. If you push too hard, if she went bishop d1 in the last position, I would have gone king d2. And the good thing about that is I can always go king c1 and bring it around here. So now she's got to be a little bit careful. If you push too hard in certain positions, all her pawns, she's put pawns on light squares. She's got to be a little bit careful. She's got to be a little bit careful. I'm threatening to win a pawn now. I can play this. I can play this for a win. Definitely play this for a win. 100%. Because these pawns can be attacked by my king as well. Now a4, I don't want to put a pawn on a light square, but it's not a terrible idea either. Now here, 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 and just play for the win. It's got bishop d3, bishop here. I think we go for it. Let's go for the win. And I can always, okay, so we go bishop d1, of course. We need this move. And my king has become very active. I mean, if I don't do anything now, it should be a draw, but we're not. We're maybe thinking like of just trying to play for the win with the king coming in here. Why not? So let's see. I'm going to play here. It doesn't seem to lose anything. I'm stopping her king coming across to all of these squares. So we're stopping that one. And she's had to put a pawn on the light square now, which maybe is not ideal. Now h5, playing for the win, is what I'm going to try to do, because I want to get a passed pawn and I want to use my passed f pawn. So if we can get rid of the g pawn, I have a passed f pawn to play, and why not? So we're going to keep here. She can't take my pawn. I've got a very simple idea of this and this now. And I can also go king here. Is that very strong? This could be even stronger. Why not? I'm just going to take the pawn. And you can see Micah, I think, is now losing. That was some tough defense though, and a lucky victory, I think, here. Just you have to give very good spirit to Micah for I mean for trying to play for the win, right? I mean, like, you know, really well done for trying to play for the win, because you've got to. This is the only way to get better at chess, is to play for the win in all situations. Now, tough luck, Micah, but get in there, son. Oh, blimmin' heck. So yeah, I don't know if we're gonna if Micah wants to chat, or if we just want to get straight into the next game. Probably the next game. Do you want to go straight? I don't know if you can hear me, Micah. Can you hear me? I'll tell you what, I'll just very quickly have a chat, because obviously that's going to be very, very depressing, that one, and she played extremely well. Okay, so we'll just get Micah on very quickly. Hello, Micah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Oof, that was bad.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You
No,
played,
it's okay.
you played so well. You played so
Yeah.
well most of the game, and I mean, I was just saying, obviously you could have taken the draw at any moment.
Yeah. I should have. In hindsight.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, you did the right thing though. You played for the win, and it's the only way to get better. You showed a lot of confidence of doing that. So yeah, an interesting.
Yeah, let's give it a positive twist that way.
Let's give it a positive twist. Someone mentioned that maybe I was winning after Queen E6 check with King D2.
Yeah, that looked so interesting. I had no idea what was going on. I was having a lot of fun though, but I had no idea if you were better, if I was doing okay. hard to judge.
It was a really complicated. I was trying to play the English to avoid any tactics. It suddenly got, oh my god, there's two.
It didn't work out.
It didn't work out too well, did it? Not at all. Well, should we get into another game? You got the white pieces now, so
I
it's
sent you a rematch, so whenever you're ready, we
Okay.
can.
All right.
I need revenge now.